So I'm here with a piece of equipment that many people have been really interested in. It's the Movi M10, the M10 symbolizing the load, and there'll be an M5 which is going to be a version of the stabilization device for sort of more lightweight loads, maybe just the 5D by itself or a smaller camera. But this particular rig is able to stabilize 1DCs, even red epics, so it was really able to cope with quite a weight. Many have been familiar with a Steadicam. This is a little bit different because whilst this works with balance and gravity to some degree, it works with a series of gyros which help to stabilize the device using an internal brain and computer. Really a very, very innovative device. And I'm not going to say that I'm an expert, and our team's definitely not an expert. We're new owner operators, and we are learning along with hundreds of other people who are just getting their pre-ordered versions of this particular device. The aim is that you can move with this device really quite freely, and it will keep the camera steady. It will try and keep the pan, roll and tilt of the actual camera on the stage really steady. So now, as I move this around, the camera is kept in a stable position. And you could run with this. We're going to try it. Run, walk, and the picture stays steady and stable. There are a couple of ways of working with this particular device. One is in the one operator mode, which is called Majestic. And that mode effectively means that the person holding the Movi and the camera is in control of the pan and tilt, or just the pan. The reason why you would only maybe control the pan is just because it's a lot for a brain to work with, to be able to concentrate on your movement and also your framing, and then work out how to pan and tilt. But to give you an example of how we pan, when I turn these handlebars to the side, it comes to a point where then the camera turns with the handlebars. It almost follows. But there's this little zone, this little window as they call it, where if I move the handles around, it doesn't move at all until I get to that point and it turns. And the same principle works with the tilt, the up and down. The reason why it's not doing it here is literally because we have it in the tilt lock mode, which is where the tilt is locked. So the camera stays in that fixed position. We can also adjust the position of the camera just by moving it, and it will remember that position. And now that's my horizon set. It's a really cool piece of technology. So you also see on the table we have this remote control, this transmitter, TX device. And what we have the ability to do is by moving the pan and tilt joystick, we can control the camera. So you see as I move this now, the camera moves as well independently. Very cool. So where we're able to use this is someone's effectively maybe running or walking with the Movi, and all they're thinking about is where that camera needs to be in 3D space. And then someone else is able to take control of the camera to decide, okay, right, now they're going to go around a corner, let's pan that camera, or let's move the camera up or move it down. There's also a third operator as an option. Of course, you have to provide the operator yourself, but you could put a follow focus on here. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We've purchased the Red Rock micro wireless system, which will then enable another member of our team to control the focus. And as we turn that wheel, then the lens will be turned by a motor. We look forward to showing you that once we get it on and get it working. So a really cool device. To help you see what's going on, you'll notice that we have a monitor here for the operator, actually holding the Movi. And then we have the signal being sent, in our case, using a Paralinx. And there are other alternatives as well, Paralinx and Teradek, but we've gone for the Paralinx. Sends a signal out from the camera and monitor straight into this monitor here on this TX unit. So we can keep a distance and still control what's going on. with this particular Movi setup and unit, what you get in the system, because this was creating a lot of confusion for people, you do not get the camera. What you do get is you get the stand, the Movi unit itself, and the controller. The things that you may need to think about on top is monitor. We are using a small HD DP4, very small and lightweight. Then we have another monitor. We're using a SWIT as our temporary solution. We're probably going to go with a small HD 7-inch, AC7 I think it's called. I'm also interested in Convergent Design's monitor that they've got coming out, so I'm trying to work out which way we're going to go. So what we also have here is a tray. This does not come with the remote. We have used this to mount the monitor and keep the whole unit together. We also have purchased a set of straps which then enable us to wear. We can wear this and it will help support the weight of this particular control unit, because it will effectively hang around the neck and just be supported. In my case, I'm fortunate enough to have a gut and I can kind of rest that there. Then you have to start thinking about the sending of signals. I've mentioned we've used the Paralinx Arrow system to send the signal, or the HD system signal, across from the camera to this particular control device. And you have to think about powering. You get the battery, you get 2 batteries with this unit for the Movi itself, but you need to find a way of powering the monitor, also powering the Arrow transmitter as well. The other element that is needed is a tablet. Currently, iOS is not supported, so you need an Android device to be able to work this. When we pre-ordered this device, we weren't quite sure what was in the box, and then our eyes started to become sort of open to all the other accessories that we would need to purchase in order to make this work. Follow focus is another one that we've decided to add on. It's optional. Many of these things are options because it's up to you creatively how much you put on this particular unit. We are going fairly all out. We've decided we made the investment in the actual unit itself, so we want it to work to the fullness of its capability. But just to reiterate, you could run this as a one single man mode, the majestic mode, where you control everything yourself. We're going to have a play with this now. We're going to get it flying, running, whatever you want to call it, and see what type of shots we're able to come up with. So we're going to give this a try. I'm going to actually run a walk with this Movi fairly low down. Okay, go for it. And go for it. I'm out of breath now. So this is also great because where you might use a dolly for sideways movement, now instead of having set up a full track, just walk sideways like this, man. Oh, that's going to be useful. Yeah, carry on. Do you mind if we chase you with this? As long as this car doesn't. Thank you. It's going to feel a bit weird with the camera running beside. It's just a new stabilisation device. Very cool test. Love it. Thank you, buddy. All right. So Cornell takes this off of me. I will now wrap up. So I think that looks all right. We were running, we were walking, we were using very different scenarios, and I'm going to get that back on the timeline